Today I'm going to be trying to do some one-of-one type shit and try and fit a 13-16 BRZ Greddy lip onto a 17 plus BRZ bumper. So they're pretty much the same, except there's a little bit of a difference here. So I think I pretty much just have to cut around here and reshape this, and it pretty much is just gonna fit right up, because otherwise everything is all the same. All the shapes are all the same. This curve is a little different, but otherwise it's pretty much the same. So if it's starting to fit pretty decent, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna trim a little bit more away here, and I think I'm going to cut here and slowly make it like, I'm gonna cut deep and then go kind of like that. Okay, so it looks pretty decent. If I kind of shove this up there and make it fit, I think what I'm gonna do is trim this away, like kind of cut it like that, because I'm getting close, just so that I can get it even closer, but we'll see. Okay, so now what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is, I think I'm gonna try and trim this away. Maybe just leave this whole piece open, I think. So I'm trying to just draw out where the body lines are, so that I know as I'm cutting this thing where everything is gonna line up, or where it can line up best or better. Because right now there's a gap between here, which ends up being right here. So I don't know if I'm gonna cut it and so that it can fit tight here, and then I'll just have it bridge somewhere down here, or if I'll cut it down low. But I want this to try and fit as close to the bumper as I can with as little of gaps as possible, whether I have to change the design of how it fits or sits on the bumper. I just want it to fit as close as possible. Okay, so I just trimmed this up even more to try and fit it with that line, and I kind of went a little far, but that's all right. But now what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and trim this corner to try and fit closer to there. So right now, because this angle is different right here, it pinches right there. So now I'm gonna try and trim this away and like smooth it out. Again, this is it's all rough edit, or not rough edit, rough cuts right now, and it'll get smoothed out and trimmed and adjusted and made sure it's all right. But I got to get the rough estimate and rough fitment first. So as I'm putting this together here, use my foot and kind of force this inwards. So it's getting close. I think I'm gonna trim it just a little more away, just so that it fits better, because you don't want it to be forced on there. I mean, it's gonna be forced on there, but you want it to try and fit a little better than that. At least I do. So I've cut here, I've trimmed here so far, been playing with over here. All right, so I made a mark with my Sharpie here. Try and cut a little more from this section. Okay, it's starting to fit pretty good. The next thing I'm gonna try and do is, I think I'm gonna try and cut this shallower so that it tucks in tighter in there. I'm gonna probably create a line straight down and kind of go with the curve of the bumper. All right, I'm gonna try and cut something like this, like that shape, and see what the fuck happens. Looks like I cut a little too much there. So what I'm gonna try and do now is get rid of this to try and make it fit better into there. All right, I think the best I'm gonna get here, because I don't wanna add any material, because I'm not fucking doing that, is there's just gonna be a gap right there, which is whatever. This bumper's not meant for that. But I think I'm pretty happy with how that looks. This is just gonna have to get pressed into place because, or at least for now, it's going to. I might try and Dremel this away because it kind of looks funky like that, but it gives me less material for the actual bumper to like mount to for the lip to mount to the bumper. So we'll see. I think I'm gonna start the other side now and then start trying to like go back and forth because that side not fitting is making this side fit a little bit different. So I'm just gonna stop, I think, maybe try and fit that side and see how close they get. The only thing too I've noticed is that you're gonna need to trim up here, or at least if you're following exactly what I'm doing, you can see it sits past the grill. So if you want it to sit perfect with this line, you're gonna have to trim a perfect straight line all the way across, which is probably what I'll do. But we'll see. So far it looks pretty decent. All right, so I'm gonna move on to the other side and start trying to cut that. So I taped up everything like super thick on these corners so that when I'm messing with it over there and making it fit again over there, it's not gonna scratch up my wrap. All right, next side here. I'm gonna just try and copy everything I did, but start small, don't cut away too much, so otherwise you'll be fucked. So cut away a little bit, check over at the other side, see what it looks like, and just kind of keep cutting away until we get something. But again, I'm gonna start here and see where I can go. Okay, same thing. I'm gonna try and now cut here. I can see it's pretty tight. I'm gonna try and cut there, kind of shallow, round a little bit. And I'm gonna try and follow this line and then maybe box back. I'm gonna try and cut like a U out of this. All right, I've made like a U shape, cut right here. It's close. This gap is gonna be permanent. There's no way I can fix that. And then I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and cut some of this away this time and see where I end up with that. I think I'm going to try and get this corner to be gone because it's touching pretty hard there. Trimmed this corner here, try and get it to fit a little better. Now what I'm gonna try and do is I think I'm gonna try and work this corner out of here. Try and get this tight spot out of here. Okay, I just trimmed over here. I think I'm going to cut deeper here, make a curve, and then come back up. Kind of like another U shape there. Starting to fit pretty decent. If you can't see, this is dirty job. Fitting pretty decent. It's not fitting over there yet, so you're gonna have to end up playing with like trimming more until you get the bumper to actually fit on each corner. But what I'm gonna do next here is I'm going to try and I got rid of this corner. I'm gonna try and make a curve in here, see how that goes. Okay, it's getting pretty close to fitting, like for both back tabs to fitting. But I think where I'm being pinched is here and somewhere right here. So I think I'm gonna drag this farther down again, come over more, something like this. And then I think over here, what I'm gonna do is try and maybe trim away this, like where it comes upwards. Maybe try and I'm gonna try and feather this out and see how that goes. Okay, I thinned up this. Probably gonna feather it out more just so it looks more uniform. I gotta shorten this up because now it's sitting too tall. But I'm getting very close to the bumper fitting fully on both sides, and then I can trim everything, make it match from there. So far it's looking pretty good. So now what I'm doing is I mounted this side again, and I'm trying to test fit this side to see where it's tight over here. So I'm gonna go back and forth. The bumper is really close to fitting all the way now. So I'm gonna work this side, then work that side, work this side. And I'm gonna keep going back and forth kind of until they match and until the bumper finally fits all the way. So for me, it looks like I'm looking a little tight right here. I think I'm getting caught up here now, so I'm gonna try and trim this a little farther down. I'm gonna get rid of this like little lip thing, so get rid of that. And then I think I'm gonna come down with this more and follow that line a little farther out. Still getting there. Probably gonna trim this down even more. And then I'm gonna trim right here. All right, I'm getting much closer to a finished product. Right here is still tight, it looks like. This is gonna be a problem. This is probably gonna be a problem for a while. But right here on both sides is where I'm gonna trim up next. Okay, we are extremely close to it fitting now. I just trimmed up this even more on both sides. So just kind of been going back and forth trying to see where I'm getting hung up at until it fits pretty good. So I'm gonna take off this side and then mount that side and then see where I need to go over there. Trimming this spot again. I got another tight spot here, so I'm gonna trim there too, but it's only about a 1/4 inch away on the side before it is able to mount. All right. Here's my shape I'm getting. I think my corners here, it's getting tight and pinched right there. So I think that might be my issue. So I'm trying to recreate the shape that it was and make it round on both sides and see what happens. All right, after fucking with it back and forth, I finally got it to mount a little bit. So I still have some pretty tight spots here. I'm probably just gonna leave that one. I don't know what to really do about it. I don't want to cut here because I want this mounting up here, and I want it to look relatively like, I don't want the lip to just be this bottom piece. But part of the reason why I'm stuck is I'm gonna cut this back even more than I already have on both sides. You can see I'm tight there too, and I'm gonna trim that away, and we'll see. I think I'm pretty much done. It looks pretty sweet. Okay, I finally got it to start mounting and fitting. So this is how it ended up for me. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about here just yet. I'm either gonna leave it or I'm gonna try and I might go like this. I don't know yet. I don't really like right there, but there's no other way to do it. I'm also pretty positive I'm the first person ever to do this. So, Corners still got to be rounded out and stuff, but I had to trim a lot here. I'm gonna try and make this more round so it looks more OEM, or more like normal, I guess. So both sides don't match exactly perfect. I think my cut's a little deeper there, yeah, than it is over here, but I'm pretty sure I'm the first one to do this, so there's not really any good way to make this happen, but I'm pretty happy with it, and I think it looks really good. All right, this is the final step here. So I put the logo on. If you don't have this Scotch 3M like extreme adhesive, you're gonna want this, because this is the only stuff I use. This stuff is seriously no joke. So in my opinion, I get one chance to mount this because I don't want it to destroy my wrap because it's such a tight fit. And it's exposed now. I have nothing to block all the sharp corners and stuff or whatnot. So I put 2 layers here, 1 layer here, 1 all the way across there, especially one on the back side here, 1 layer here, or I did 2 layers on this one. 1 focus, dude. 1 layer here, and then I did 2 here, just because I want to make sure that I can barely feel that right here was just like, it wasn't flush with the tape, meaning that this is gonna sit before the tape does. So I made this stacked so that it will actually touch. So then you're gonna want to take the red tape and peel up a corner so that you can grab it right here and peel it away and stick as you go. Looks pretty sweet to me.